Hello Stampers! I've got quite the card for you today. I decided to do an abstract background for these Fireflies from the Light in the Way stamp set from Stampin' Up. This is such a great stamp set. It has all the foliage you need and plus all these dots to create the shine from, of course, your fireflies. And then it has some wonderful sayings too, so it's a great set to pick up. And I decided to do this great abstract background just for something different, and I just love the way it turned out. And I'm utilizing the new punch from Stampin' Up. This is a 2 3/8 circle punch, so it's a large size circle, and it's just perfect to make a dotted background and plus add some abstract look to our background for our fireflies. So we're going to start with the main panel for this. So you're going to find all the dimensions for this card down below this video. Just click show more and you'll see them there along with all the links to the products. That'll take you directly to my online store. I'm going to start with a basic white panel that's 3 by 4.5. And we're going to start with our abstract background. And I've punched 3 of the circles using that circle punch, the 2 3/3 circle punch out of basic black cardstock. Now 2 of them we're going to use for our background design on one of our panels, and this one we're going to use as a mask. So I'm going to place this on here, and I'm just going to bring in some blending brushes, and we're going to just lightly blend around a couple of these circles shapes. So I'm just going to place one on there. I've got it partially off the cardstock, and I'm just going to add some black around it. Now I just want a hint of this black. I don't want it extremely dark, and I'm just using a circular motion and going around that panel. Now when you remove it, there's your circle. Okay, and that's just what we want. We want that soft look for this. Okay, so that is one circle, and then the next circle I'm just going to place down here, and they're kind of overlapping a little bit. And this one also is coming off the side of the cardstock. I'm going to use a different color for this. I think what we'll use is, you can use any color combination that you like. This is just what I picked. So I'm going to use, I think my next darkest color will be Gorgeous Grape. So I'm just going to kind of do that same thing, that little circular motion around this. This is such a great background to do. I mean, you can do it any which way. You can place these any place you want to on here. This is just what I'm doing. And then I'm going to do it one more time, I think, and I'm going to use a different color yet. So I'm going to pull in some pumpkin pie here to do our third circle. These abstract backgrounds, there is no right or wrong way to do them. So there is that. That's kind of fun already, right? That'd be great for a birthday card. So that is all I'm going to do with the circle. And now I'm going to bring in a Post-it note, and I just have a 3 by 5 Post-it note here. You could use a piece of cardstock or whatever you want to use with this. And I'm just going to do some lines now through this just to get more of an abstract look. And I think I'm going to do one with Wild Wheat. This is one of the new Stampin' Up ink colors. It's a great neutral. So I'm just putting this on with the Wild Wheat here. And I'm removing it. And then I'm going to add one going another direction. I didn't put any more ink on here because you want different variances of your colors. And I think I'm going to put another line here, and you want to use a different color. I like mixing up the colors quite a bit. And I'm going to use the Gorgeous Grape again, I think, for one of these lines. So fun. Look at that. And it just gets really abstract really fast. Okay. And maybe one more. You know, it's hard to stop this. You just want to keep putting more and more and more. So we'll just do one like across here. You do as many as you want. Many circles. It's your background. Okay, so I wanted to kind of fill in some of the white areas just on the edges here. And you can use different colors for this. I'm just going to go ahead and finish out with my gorgeous grape, what was on my brush. Okay. So there is our background. And now I want to stamp some plants. So this is one of the stamps, and it looks like a tall reed or something, leafy thing. Don't know what plant it is, but I love the look of this. And I'm just going to stamp this a few times here at the bottom. You know, you just want some foliage for your fireflies to be fluttering around above. So there's some with wild wheat. And then I'm going to stamp some with Memento Tuxedo Black also. Just a few. I like to put some dark ones in the foreground in front of those. It looks like maybe there's light hitting the ones that are in the back. Okay, so there is our plant life in there. And now it's time to stamp our fireflies. And there, I'm using Memento Tuxedo Black still. And I'm going to stamp one of each size. Now there's 3 sizes of fireflies in that set. Here's the large one. And then we'll stamp the medium one. I have them fly in different directions here. So there's 2, and then we have this teeny tiny little guy. And I'm going to have him flying, I think, kind of straight up down here. Like he's avoiding those plants, maybe. Okay, so there is our fireflies. Simple enough. And now we're going to take that wild wheat we were using earlier. And with that stamp set, you have 3 different size circle stamps. And so we're going to use the largest one, and we're going to stamp these on wild wheat, but we're going to do a 2nd generation stamping. So I'm just going to load my stamp book with wild wheat. I'm going to stamp off once and then stamp on. And I'm going over like the butt of the firefly. Okay, so that was for the largest one, and then we'll use the medium circle. Do that same process. We're going to load it up, stamp it off, and then stamp it on there. And then we have the smallest one. Repeat the process. Oh, my little dot didn't want to come off. There we go. And we'll stamp it on there. So now our fireflies have like a lit up section where their body is glowing. And now I want you to just add, I have a white gel pen here. This is a Sigma white gel pen. And I'm going to make some dots along some of these areas here. I'm going to kind of make some dots along this wild wheat line here. And these don't have to be perfectly centered. I'm going to skip over the antennas for that firefly and keep going down this line. And I want some up here going around this circle a bit. You don't have to go all the way around the image. I think I'll stop there. And then I'm going to add some kind of in between these plants around this one. Maybe add some up here. And then let's see, we have another line here that we can add some down. This is just to give another look to those lines that you see in the background here. Maybe a few up here. It's all what you like, right? So there is all the dots. And that completes the look of our background. And now I'm just going to use that same white gel pen. I'm going to put a line kind of on each part of their wing here at the top. Okay, just to make them stand out. Kind of adds another element. And it kind of goes with those white dots. So there is that done. And now we can put a panel behind this. And I have a wild wheat panel here. And this is 1/8 larger than our main image panel. And that's what I'm going to put behind this. I'm using multi-purpose glue here. You use whatever adhesive you like. You know, add some love in there. That's for the recipient. They don't know it's there, but I do. There we go. All right, so we have that done. And now we have a panel here. And this is going to go on the outside of the card. This is like the, just a layer on the front, like the card front. And this is the card base. The card base is 5.5 by 8.5, and then I fold it in half to create my quarter card. And then I have a panel that goes all over the top of that card front. And this is 4.25 by 5.5. And we're going to put some of those dots that we punched earlier on this. So I have those 2 circles of black that I cut out, and that is what we're going to do for our background here. So for the first one, I'm just going to glue it up here in the top right corner. Let's add in some glue on here. I'm going to add it right up here in the top so it overhangs a bit, and you just see just a hint of that corner of that card. Okay, and here's a little trick. We're going to cut these off, flush with our card. All right, and then we're going to add some glue to them and stick them on different sections of our card, like there's just dots just starting to come on the edge here. So I'm going to put this one right here. Not fun? And then this one that we cut off, I'm going to add right down here on this edge. So there's no wasting these. Oh, I put glue on both sides of that one. I'm going to cut another little piece off here. Let's do this one down here in this corner. Like right here. I'm just going to cut just a section of that off. Add that here. And that section that we took off. We'll add here. And since I messed up that piece, I'm going to cut another circle. So I'm just going to use this that I used for that has color on it, but you can't see it because it's black. I'm just going to cut a little piece off of that to finish out my card here. You know, don't let things go to waste, right? And I think I wanted a different size than that one. They look like they were too even. See how that one looks smaller now. There we go. So there is our background for our card base. So now I just want some ribbon on here, and I'm just in love with this wild wheat color. So like I said, this is a new in color, and it's such a great neutral, I think. So I'm going to use the wild wheat ribbon, and I just cut off a piece that's a little longer than our card is here. I'm going to flip it over and just attach the back of the ends of the ribbon to the back side of the card. I'm just using a mini glue dot to adhere those. There we go. And now we have that. And I'm going to adhere this to our card base. There we go. And now we're going to put our main panel on here. And I'm going to pop this up with Stampin' Dimensionals, just so it doesn't get all bulky around where that ribbon is. And I want to make sure I leave room for that ribbon to go through here without dimensionals on top of it. Here we go, got the backends off, and I'm just going to add this to our card front. There we go. Now we just need one additional piece of ribbon. And I'm just going to take this under there, give it a tie. Now I'm going to tie it once more. And then just give a little trim to these ends so they're not so square. This is pretty, really pretty ribbon. It's like textured. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it's a really nice ribbon. And then for the inside, so that's the outside of the card. Cute, right? And it's a little different. So on the inside of the card, I'm just going to add a couple panels. I'm going to add a basic black panel that's 4 by 5 1/4, and then a wild wheat panel that's 3 3/4 by 5. And if you're when you stamp your sentiment, I would stamp it before you put it in your card. I'm not sure what mine is going to say yet, so I'm just leaving it blank. I do that a lot, and then when I need a card, I just kind of go through my stash and then I stamp something inside. I make so many cards, I just have so many on hand for when I need them. And you kind of limit yourself when you put a sentiment in it right away, unless you know exactly what you're setting it for, right? So there is our card for today. I hope you enjoyed this project. It's a little different, but it's a lot of fun to make these backgrounds. You could use that background for butterflies, or just foliage or leaves flying in the air or whatever. Abstract backgrounds are just fun. So pick some colors and go for it. Thanks for joining me today. Bye.